If you've been fat since the pandemic, and this is going on 6.5 years since it officially started, you're in the infinite fat boy loop. The infinite fat boy loop, you all know what it is. You relive the same 6 months every single time. You say you're gonna lose weight, you start, you stop, you quit, you give up. You repeat that cycle. And all that's happening is you're getting fatter and fatter each year. You don't like your physique. You ain't ripped. It's summertime. You can't walk around with your shirt off, right? If that sounds like you, you're in the correct video. You'll know who I am. My name is King Jagan. I run Ripped and Remote. And for the last 4 years, I've been coaching people online, helping them achieve their weight loss results. And I was formerly obese myself. I used to be very fat, very obese, and I was able to lose the weight, get in good shape, all naturally. This is before AI, before all the weight loss shots, no steroids, no gym, just straight body weight exercises and fasting and a good diet, right? Anyway, in today's video, we're going to talk about the step-by-step guide on how to exit the infinite fat boy loop. So touch on it a little bit, but let's explain what it is in a little bit more detail. At the start of the year, January 1st, we all know what happens. Everybody is talking about what they're gonna do, New Year's resolutions, and personally, I hate New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions do not work because statistically, 90% of you who start a New Year's resolution, again, New Year's resolution, this is what you're committing to, they quit after 3 weeks. So by the time you get to January 22nd, which is the 22nd day of the year, 90% of people have quit. Then summer comes around, so maybe March, April, they say, you know what, man, I quit my New Year's resolution, but I really want to get in shape, for summer, right? So they start again, and then they quit. By the time summer comes, which is where we're in right now, they give up on their fitness journey completely, and they don't start until the next January. So these next 5 months that we have for the remainder of the year, this is the most important time. So you can actually get in good shape. Specifically, let's get ripped, and let's exit the cycle, because every time you start and stop, you're just getting fatter each cycle. And as you get fatter, you are getting more health issues, you're getting more self-conscious, you are getting lazier, and then you start from, oh, I'm just 10 to 15 pounds overweight. Now you're 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight. You're going into the obese category. So this is the step-by-step guide to solve that problem, right? And I'm gonna break it down in a framework which I call the 7 principles of fasting. This is how I was able to transform, and this is the same framework that I coach my clients with. So 7 principles, the first letter of the principle is F, and that is focus, right? What is focus? Focus is all in the mindset. You have to be locked in onto the goal. You can't be all, I'm just gonna try it. No, if you are trying to get ripped by the end of the year, you wanna exit the infinite fat boy loop, you have to say, F all the noise, I'm gonna be the most consistent person on the planet. To this goal, to this plan, there's no one beating me, right? And a part of that is why I'm recording these videos, because I'm gonna show you the ripped transformation live in real time, because no one's doing this. No one is on YouTube or on the internet. Everyone is either talking about an old transformation, or they say what they're going to do and they don't actually do it. And all that does is it's just repeating or projecting the same energy, I think that's a better way to say it, of the New Year's resolution. Everyone talks on January 1st, but where are they at in July? They don't exist. So you want to be focused. So my goal, and I'll just use myself as a reference so you can understand it, is I'm focused on documenting this RIP transformation. I gained weight on purpose for this, right? Documenting every single time I complete my alternate day fasting, we post a video. Every time I make a milestone, we post a video. We talk about what's working. We don't miss any exercises. We don't mess up the diet, but we stay focused, we stay locked in to where everybody around you should say or should notice that there's a change. Like, this guy ain't the same as he was last week. Yeah, because it's different now. Our mind is set on achieving the goal no matter what. So having that supreme focus is the baseline of what you need to actually achieve the goal. All right? Now, let's go to the second principle, which is adherence, right? Because everybody talks. Everyone talks, man. Everybody talks. Everybody says what they're going to do. No one actually does it. So A is action adherence. How are you actually going to accomplish the goal, right? This is my plan. Alternate day fasting for 12 weeks. Low carb, ketogenic diet. I exercise on the days that I'm eating. And then I it's a resting day on a fasting day, so I rest. Maybe I'll walk. Maybe I'll do a set of push-ups. I don't really like exercising on the fasting days. That's it. Very strict. We count everything. We measure everything. We make sure we have the proper electrolytes during our fasting days. We stay hydrated. So I got my water. Everything is consistent. We track everything. So not only am I making it a goal to track everything, everything's in my schedule. I schedule when I'm going to work out. I schedule when I'm going to eat. I schedule when I'm going to fast. And I like alternate day fasting. I'm one of the best at it. I stick to it no matter what. If I am fasting that day, I'm fasting. If I'm eating that day, I'm eating. And when I'm eating the right amount of protein, the right amount of fat. If it's a ketogenic diet, carbs are going to be low. If it's a low carb, 50 to 60 grams, okay, it's low carb. Sticking to it. It's one thing to say that you're going to be the most consistent. When you actually have a plan and everything's in the schedule and you're doing it day after day, that's exactly how you reach the goal. Without quitting. We don't quit after 3 weeks because the reality is it takes 12 to 16 weeks to see a result that you are going to be proud of, that you are going to notice, right? Nothing's going to happen really in 3 weeks unless you're doing a straight 21-day fast, and as you watch other videos in the series, you're going to realize, I'm not a big fan of these long extended fasts, right? So that's the focus. We need to get ripped by the end of the year. Action adherence, we have the plan. So keto, low carb is a diet. Our meal frequency is alternate day fasting, 12-hour eating window. We exercise on the eating days. And that goes right into the next principle. Principles 2 and 3 are kind of, interchangeable. They're right next to each other. So you have adherence. S is for strength. And what's the strength? Workout. For me, I like to do high volume body weight exercises, pull-ups, dips, rows, lunges, squats, all the simple stuff. High volume. Start with low, work your way up to high. Progressive overload. You try harder variations. So once you're doing push-ups, because there's no, I don't use any weighted vests or anything like that. I have to make the variations a bit more difficult. So I'll maybe do regular push-ups, then maybe I do, the wide grip push-ups, and then I will go into diamonds, and then maybe I do diamonds on an incline. You just continuously, make those exercises a bit more difficult by switching up the variation and the intensity, right? Strength. And then to round up the core 4 of the 7 principles is time. This is the one that people struggle with the most, because I don't even think that people struggle with actually doing it, right? I don't think people struggle. I think people struggle with it. We're in a world where everything that we are involved with, we are getting things fast. We have Amazon, we can get stuff same day or in 2 days. We have DoorDash and Uber Eats. People are sending us or order pizza. You get food delivered to your house. Like, we're an instant gratification. Our attention spans as humans, and I blame TikTok for this and short form content in general, which is why I'm creating long form to kind of fix that. Is we have our attention spans is less than a goldfish. Like, if you don't hook people that are watching your content in 3 seconds, they give up. It's crazy. Like that's, and I think when it comes to fitness, weight loss, building muscle, we still have the biological restriction, right? Now some people go off kilter and they do steroids and they take weight loss shots. I'm not a fan of that. I like to be 100% natural. I don't want anyone to take credit for my results. I build my body brick by brick, right? But again, as I said, 12 to 16 weeks, that's 3 to 4 months of consistency. If you haven't been consistent for 12 to 16 weeks, you shouldn't be complaining about the results. Facts. If you have not been consistent for at least 12 to 16 weeks, there should be no complaints. You know, most people, after 3 weeks, they start complaining and they give up. That's why New Year's resolutions fail. Because they're like, damn, I went to the gym every day. I dieted every day. And I've done this for 21 days straight. And I only lost 6 pounds. They give up. They're like, yo, I'm not losing weight. Stop comparing yourself to people that you see on Facebook or Reddit or Instagram. You don't know what they're actually doing. You don't know if that person's on steroids. You don't know if they're lying about the results. You're just reading text, or you're seeing a highlight, or you're seeing an AI edited image, and this is what you're doing. So instead of following Instagram, which is a highlight reel, because they're not going to keep it real, they're not keeping it G, focus on, you know what, I'm going to be the most consistent person for the next 12 to 16 weeks. If you do that, you will be better than 99% of people on the internet that are just talking about what they're going to do, right? Those are the core 4, right? The last 3 principles are more of a reminder of the first 4, because as humans, we need to be reminded more than we need to be told, right? But focus, what your mindset is, action adherence, how you're going to do it, right? So we schedule it, how you're going to do it, what exactly you're going to do. Strength, right next to adherence, because we have to work out. If you want to rip physique, you have to at least maintain muscle when you're on a weight loss period. And you need to build muscle once you are, eating, once you're done with the alternate day fasting, right? And then time, you have to give yourself enough time for your results to take place. Got it? All right. Now, next principle is intent. What's the reason that you're doing this? So for me, I am a little bit crazy, right? I like to do fasting. I've been fasting for years. And I see, the fasting subreddit, and I see Instagram, and I see Facebook, and there's so many people that are just talking about fasting. They're not actually doing it. So I'm like, all right, not only am I going to gain weight on purpose and then lose the weight again and get in even better shape than I was before, but I'm going to document it on YouTube, because no one's doing it. There's hardly any, what I see people document when it comes to fasting is, again, I don't want to put, anyone's name out there, right? I'm not trying to down what they're doing, but I just, there's just certain things I'm seeing with the realm of fasting and weight loss, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like that people are running to shots. I don't like people are doing, people are ordering peptides from China and they don't know where it's coming from. So it's just, there's a lot of just nasty stuff that's going on. And of course, people are hopping on it because, of course, they're making money. But, yeah, I think that I believe that people need to see what an authentic transformation looks like from start to finish, where I just show everything. I don't hold back, any secrets. I do the same thing that I tell my clients to do, really, right? Make it a part of your lifestyle. People shouldn't be getting obese. They fast for a little bit, then they weigh more than when they started. It just doesn't make sense. So my intention for this is to show people step by step, and then people that are coming to me who are looking for coaching, they can say, oh, he actually does what he says. He's not just talking, he actually lives this life. And I wish that when my first transformation, I actually recorded more, but this is the reason why I'm actually doing it and posting YouTube videos about it. And I'm very excited about it too. So that's the reason. And is the sixth principle. That is nourishment, nutrition, and that's the diet. Again, we touch on that on the second principle. Low carb, ketogenic diet, very simple. You don't have to cut carbs to get in good shape. Because I'm doing alternate day fasting, I want to utilize that extra lever of being in ketosis for a longer period of time. So my body is burning more fat, using that for energy versus storing it. So that's my reasoning for it. That's the sixth principle, just your nutrition. And then also, nutrition and nourishment is not just what you're feeding your body, but what's the content that you're consuming? Are you doom scrolling on TikTok all day? Are you still engaging in vices, habits? Like some of you guys are smoking, drinking, doing all types of crazy stuff. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do nothing. I'm not a chimney. I don't drink alcohol. That's poison, right? So are you feeding your body not only physically with food, but what are you consuming every day? Are you consuming good content? Are you bettering yourself mentally? Because your mental is very important for this process, right? Are you getting stronger or are you getting weaker? There's no staying the same. Nothing on this planet exists at rest. It's either, even this chair, even me sitting, I'm constant, there's a constant force being applied, with gravity, right? There's nothing that is at rest, all right? The last principle, which is G, that stands for grind. You can get the diet, you can get the workout, you can watch the videos, but at a certain point, your motivation is going to fade. No one, including myself, is going to be motivated 100% of the time. I don't like working out 95% of the times, to be honest. My preferred method of exercise is playing basketball, right? I love basketball, played basketball in high school. I played basketball my whole teenage years. I love playing basketball. That's my preferred exercise. I don't like doing push-ups and doing crunches like that. Like, who wants to do thousands of those every single day, right? It's not the most fun thing. However, if I'm going to get ripped, I'm going to put on muscle, I'm going to have an actual transformation, right? You're doing it for the second time. We got to get our exercise in. So no matter how you're feeling, you may not want to go to bed at a certain time, wake up at a certain time. You have to grind through it, because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this question: what is the alternative? What is the alternative if you decide to stay fat for the next 5 months, going into 2027, making the same exact excuses, saying that, I'm really going to do it now, and you don't do it? So at the end of the day, you have to grind through it, because there is no alternative. You're either going to repeat the same 6 months that you said you don't like. You said you do not like living the same 6 months, so why not make a change? And it may seem extreme to like your family members and friends. Like when I started fasting, I started working out, people thought I was crazy. But when they saw the results, people's minds changed real quick. All right, so this is just the intro. To kind of cap off what I'm going to do with this is, right now I am on a fast. I am in, what time is it? How many hours? I'm like 16. No, I am like 14. I don't know. I'm between 14 and 16 hours into my fast right now, and the plan is I'm going to fast all day today. Today is July 31st when I'm recording this, and then I'm going to fast all day tomorrow, right? So that'll be the 1st of August, and then that'll be at least a 60-hour fast, and I will then transition into alternate day fasting. If I extend it, so let's say I extend that fast, the furthest I will go will be a week. So that'll be going into next Thursday, I believe. Yeah, next Thursday. And then after that, we'll transition to alternate day fasting. So it's going to be a 12 to 16 week alternate day fasting. I think at 12, I should hit the goal, but if not, then we'll do it for an extra month. So 12 to 16 weeks, alternate day fasting. Every fasting day, I will be posting a video, put it on the playlist. So if you're coming years from now, you can see it all organized. And I'm excited to do this. Hopefully, you guys take some notes and you can take the lessons that I'm teaching, apply it to your own life so you get the transformation that you're looking for. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, need some assistance with this, go ahead and click the link in the description. We'll see if we're a good fit to work together. Otherwise, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.